All right, so I took off last Friday, never dreaming that a story would hit the way it hit with Cam Hayward. Who knew? He was having a hold-in. I'm not sure I blame beat writers or anybody like that for not noticing. It probably just looked like a 36-year-old guy who was having a light camp. That's all. I'm very curious why Cam never put anything out there, or why so quiet. Why a clandestine hold-in? Cam's a very gregarious guy. He's got his own podcast, opines about everything. One of the reasons people love Cam is that he talks about everything. But this was going to be a secret? Why? Well, maybe because he knew that if it got out there, that there was going to be severe backlash from fans. And that's exactly what we've seen. And Cam didn't do himself any favors last year, I might add, with his contract situation. The Steelers have done very, very right by Cam Hayward, Bob. A couple years back in 2020, they made him the highest per year defensive player over 30 in NFL history. Like I said, last year they could have approached him with a pay cut. They did not. They respected him. They gave him what was essentially a one-year contract. It wasn't a three-year contract. We'll get to that in a minute. But they've treated him very well. And he seems to be wanting to antagonize people. That's the part I don't get, because he's such a likable guy. Last year, you might remember, it was this idea of, would you go to another team? And he said, if that's what needs to be done, then so be it. And then added the little caveat, I still have family in Cleveland. I remember putting out a Twitter poll last year. Are you in support of the Steelers giving Cam Hayward a new deal? And 60% said no back then. And now the antagonizing continues. And I think having this thing happen secretly is part of that. And now we get an Instagram post that says, from Cam, you either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. People are pissed. I was shocked at the comments below the Dulac story, I think it was. Maybe Dulac and Batko, I can't remember. And I can only imagine what happened on the air here Friday. Were you here, Sean?
I was, and I don't know that we got many calls, if any, that were outright defending and taking Cam's side.
I could tell you on Saturday, because I did a show from Jacksonville, and that became the number one issue that everybody wanted to bring up. And
you mean when you were interacting with people outside the stadium and stuff?
No. I did a radio show Saturday from there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and the callers that I had were the same way. They all talk about a contract is a contract. You just got a new contract. I think a lot of this is just what happens when you're trying to get the most out of your final years. You know, if that's what he's trying to do, I get it. If you look at where he stacks up in terms of his rank salary-wise, it's not in the top 15 of his position, even though last year he had one of the better years of all those guys. I think he's just trying to get as much out of this final opportunity that he can. And so this stuff goes on, and you hear words. The TJ Watt stuff happened with the peace sign. That's all part of it. And I think even TJ said, when you're going through this process, you're going to say some things, or you're going to do some things and I think that's all this is at this point. I do think.
How do you think it got out, Bob?
That's a good question.
Who benefited from it getting out? Certainly not Cam.
Not Cam, no. So I don't know how that got out, but I can't believe it would be his side putting it out, only because of what we've seen. You know, people love Cam Hayward, and they respect what he's done. He's Walter Payton Man of the Year. He's been tremendous. Even at this age, he's been the one constant on that defensive line. I just think he wants to be paid what the average is. It changes all the time, and that's the problem.
Well, I think he's also not real pleased, or I shouldn't say that. I think he also noticed for sure that people on his own team got some big money, right?
Well, of course.